Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a few weeks since I made a video, but usually those are comedy videos. Today I have a little something different for you. Now, in my opinion, there is a big problem with one of my favorite games, Destiny 2, and I'm sure that's why most of you clicked on this video, is to see, hey, what does this moron have to say about Destiny 2? Let's see, do I like it, do I hate it, do I possibly want to make out with him, am I willing to give my life to Shrek yet? And the real answer is, I have no idea what the is going on with it. I have no idea why I don't want to play it anymore, besides the fact that I feel like it's kind of come to a conclusion in Destiny 2, at least alone. The two new protagonists really don't mean anything to me, and currently it doesn't really feel fun. I mean, Fickrell, I barely know what the hell's going on with the dude. He's been around for years now, and we're just kind of now making him a main boss. I know he's been a problem, but he's never really seemed like main boss material. We got Prison of Elders kind of back. I haven't even played it. I mean, I haven't played this game in about a month or two now. Since the moment Black Ops 6 has dropped, I have not played Destiny 2. Now, it isn't just me who thinks this. You could go along the board right now and find anyone from Aztecross. He's not exactly, quite as doubtful as I am on things, but even he sees the numbers and is like, okay, well, this isn't good too. There are other people who make videos about this as well. I mean, you could just look at the state of the game on the LFG app. If I were to currently go onto that app right now, not in game, but on the actual phone app, because a lot more people seem to always gravitate towards that one instead, I would say there's no more than 20 posts, if that. I'm currently scrolling, and there are less than, I'd say, 10 posts. The most recent one is they need someone for second encounter for Gardens of Salvation. This game is the deadest I've seen in my life, and I don't know if there's anything Bungie can do about it without having to sacrifice the ability to make a new game, or they're going to have to completely make up a new villain for the next saga. I mean, there are more villains out there. The Witness was the big baddie in the dark, but he's not really the big baddie in the dark. He's not the real big baddie daddy in the dark. The real one is the Winnower. We don't know what that looks like. My thought process was it's probably the Veil, but we have no idea. Ziva Wrath, now that the Witness is gone, kind of seems like less of a boss than she once was. Oryx might come back from the light. There has to be something, though. And I don't think it's just the bosses anymore. I don't think that it's that we don't have something to look forward to. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact they're starting to phase out crafting into newer weapons. AKA, the seasonal weapons this season aren't craftable, which made me not want to play it, and I've seen plenty of other people be like, no, I don't want to play this. Now, I know, whoa, put your hands up, what are you talking about, man? Crafting? How dare you talk about crafting? You really think that's a good idea, crafting? It's ruined the game. All I'm saying is when there was crafting, there was a way, way higher player base still for this game, versus now, it's almost gone. It looks like there is a water drought in the Sahara Desert right now. We need to bring it back to the rainforest, and I don't think by taking out crafting that's going to do it. There are so many perks at this point in the game that by the time I get a random roll, half the time I don't even know if it's good or not. I have to check or take a wild guess to think if it's good until someone's like, take that off, that's fucking trash. Or until Little Light or Destiny, what is it called? Or until Destiny Item Manager tells me it's good. I don't know if it's good, and there's not enough vault space. Plus, a lot of the shit they're doing is just rinse and repeat. I mean, the Solstice event is no different. This holiday festive event is no different. The October event is no different. Nothing is different. It's all consistently stayed the same when they go to drop like these little events. The event cards aren't helping you either, Bungie. I know you want that extra cash grab for money. I know you need money right now. But if you didn't decide to make 5 other games besides Destiny at once, you might have more money than you could have imagined. A lot more money. I mean, you've canceled a possible other version of Destiny that, I've heard was rumored. You canceled whatever Project Gummy Bear was. You canceled a few other projects, all because all of your money was coming from Destiny. and you let go of Destiny so much to the degree that a lot of players just aren't interested in playing after we defeated the Witness. The Witness was what we were looking forward for 2 years. The best thing in my idea is to keep the grind alive, but in a completely different way, just the same way you've been doing. Crafting. I know that a lot of big baddies in the YouTube industry and in the streaming world who get worlds first and all that are like, well, after 2 weeks, crafting makes me not want to play at all. I'm going to be honest with you. The only reason I continued playing was because I'd craft a weapon after I grinded for it, because it's a guaranteed roll. I'd craft the weapon after I grinded for it, grind the crafted weapon up, and then I would use that weapon in raids or whatever. Just because those elite players don't want to play the game doesn't mean the average player isn't like that. Now, I know there are people who are going to ride the streamers such as Dado and stuff no matter what, and that's no beef with Dado at all. I mean, he's one of the best in the world, obviously. The dude has, I think, at least one world's first belt, right? So there's no real competition between me and that dude in gameplay. I mean, the gameplay you see right now on your screen is probably 2 months old, minimally. Maximally, it could be all the way back up to when the final shape dropped. But I don't want to play this game because they took out crafting for me. That is the best way for me to get weapons and know it's going to be good and worth my time. These tinctures weren't working. The only tincture that's worked for me is a cannabis tincture that got me so fucking ripped I couldn't even feel my legs. These tinctures in the game don't work. They're not good. I know they recently said they fixed them. I don't believe them. I don't believe them at all. I don't believe them one bit. I know Bungie. You know Bungie. When they say they fixed something, they really didn't. They don't fix nothing, okay? It's a temporary fix for now, and honestly, half the time they're more focused on fixing the stuff that is fun to the player before they fix the stuff that actually is breaking the game. I mean, people are going to the game, I saw this the other day, people are going into the game with, I believe, the Prospector, and it's kicking them out because they're spamming the Prospector on bosses. What is that? Why is that happening? And I understand that there's going to be a fair share of games that are glitchy, they're going to have some problems, and as long as the normal gameplay loop is fun, it's fine. The gameplay loop isn't fun anymore. I'm not going to go sit there and grind for hours for a singular roll for a weapon. I'd rather get all of the red borders and have it done, so I can use that weapon in that activity with that weapon. And it just makes sense to me. Crafting was something that felt like it was finally for the smaller guys in this community, I guess, who have to work a 9 to 5 and don't have all this time to play this game. And not just that, but there's not a lot of us who can remember all the roles and remember which and every single one is right. I mean, I have to remember the raid mechanics for this stuff in general. You think I'm going to care how well this role or that role? No, I'm going to Google it and figure out what's best. I'm not going to want to sit there and grind all day for a random role. I did that in Destiny 1. And I did that in the beginning of Destiny 2. And that was kind of part of the reason why I started pulling back from Destiny. There was no guaranteed role. So even by the time I got the role, I tried so many times that it didn't even feel worth it. I hated it, honestly. And half the time I wouldn't even use the weapon after I crafted it, because I was like, oh, I guess this isn't as good as I expected, even though it looked dope. And once crafting came out after Beyond Light, because I love Stasis, I was playing during Beyond Light, and Witch Queen, I thought it was the best and most innovative thing they could have come out with. Now, I'm a fan of something like random rolls for even exotics, or, you could even make a craftable exotic too. I like craftable exotics, but even a random roll exotic, that's fine. Or, having to constantly redo a raid to get an exotic, that's fine as well. But I also have friends who have played Destiny and have quit it because of the problem of RNG. RNG is great in a game, and I understand a game like this is for the grind. You want to grind it. I've grinded every single exotic pretty much in this game you can find. I get your point. I hear your yells. I get what you're saying. But not everything needs to be that grindy. A legendary weapon for the season does not need to be that grindy. Yes, you have a year to get it, but I would rather spend that year going and getting all the red borders. My vault can't take this anymore. I have so many rolls in my vault from random rolls. I don't know what is and what isn't good anymore. It doesn't make any sense why they would go away from this structure. And like I said again, and I'll say it again, this was not a good move by Bungie. They were listening to the large streamers, Salty Greppo, Dado, the rest of them, because that's all I really know. And Salty Greppo, he's a whole other case. But that is what's been going on here. All right. For the love of God, Bungie, give us something. I don't care if you take random roles and put them in raids only for now. And take out red borders in raids. I will grind a raid over and over again because those are fun to me. A lot of these other activities are meaningless. I haven't even tried the new Prison of Elders because I know what it's going to be. And I know everything's random roll. I'm not interested. It's going to be boring after 5 tries, and that's going to be it. But you give me a possibility of a guaranteed roll after getting, 5 red borders? I will grind it over and over again because it makes sense to me. It makes sense because there's almost a guarantee eventually of having that roll. With the amount of perks we have in this game, there's almost no guarantee you will get that weapon after 500 runs, even with the damn tinctures. That, honestly, I doubt are still even working properly. Like I said, I haven't been trying this game in a while. I haven't played it in 2 months, so I don't know. But I have been seeing the whole hellstorm of what's been going on. I see what the Destiny community is saying. Craftable items have to come back. Make the seasonal weapons craftable. I don't care about the rest of it. The seasonal weapons have to minimally be craftable. It doesn't make sense for them not to do. And I know you might say, well, there's a lot more with the game. Yes, I understand that. But did we have that much player fall off last season after we destroyed the Witness? No. You want to know why? There's craftable roles. There was what felt like a guaranteed win at the end of it. There is none of that feeling anymore, making it seem like I don't want to do this and I don't care about this. Great games have come out in the past few months. I mean, I know some people are playing Path of Exile. I don't even know what that game is. No idea. I'm over here playing and grinding Black Ops 6 Zombies so I can get the Mob of the Dead camo. Whatever it is. I forgot what it's called. Like the Afterlife camo. Besides that, it does not matter. Okay? That is a guaranteed win in itself. You just have to do a certain amount of things. It's not easy. It's a pain in the ass, but it's still guaranteed. That is the major difference between what is in COD and what's in Destiny. Crafting was working in Destiny. For COD, it works in a way. They have their own kind of crafting if you've ever played it. It's not exactly the same, but pretty damn close. Destiny took out crafting and seasonal content, which is eventually going to go away. So how many times do you want to sit there and grind for the same hand cannon until you get that possible roll? You don't. No one does. And the fact of the matter is that Bungie still hasn't realized you have to stop listening to these idiots. Well, they're not idiots. They're really good at the game. But these guys who are high up in the gaming world, and that's all they do. That's all they do is play this game all day. Make guides for their game. And I respect them a lot because they've helped me a lot with their guides. They make extremely good guides. But that's all they do. They play this game. Not everyone has time for that. I want to grind. I respect the grind, but there's a certain point where the grind feels worthless. I'm not going to continue to chip at a tree with a toothpick to knock it down eventually. If 1 out of every 5 chances I get an axe, then there will be a better chance of me using that toothpick at that tree. Because at least 1 out of every 5, I'll be able to poke that tree with a nice axe hit. Makes sense to me. Might not make sense to some of you. I don't know when I'll return to Destiny. I might try it again here just to see what they have, but I don't think it's in a great place. I don't think it's going to be in a good place until they return some of the stuff and stop listening to these big streamers. Listen to the people in the comments, not the people with the big voices. The people with the big voices aren't speaking for the masses always. Does our president always speak with the people's thought in mind? No. Because if you look at Congress or any of that, only 30% of what people actually want to get passed. Well, if you listen to the corporations, 66, I believe, percent of what they want passed gets passed. There's a reason for that. They're too busy listening to the big guys. I'm not saying that Dado's over here sliding Bungie money, but Bungie, do you want to make money again? You need more than one dude to tell you everything. Salty Repo's wrong. Datto's wrong. All of them are wrong about crafting. I don't care what you say. They are wrong. And if you don't believe me, when was the last time you've played this game? How easy was it for you to get those weapons? Are you still grinding it? Because I haven't grinded it in 2 months. And that's not because Black Ops 6 is the best zombies to come out. I mean, it's extremely good. They did a really good job with zombies this time around. But it's because Destiny is such a horrible grind to this degree, I don't want to play it. There's a difference between a healthy, solid, good, fun grind with a possibility of getting that guaranteed roll and a unhealthy, barely working, none of these work grind with the want to not want to do it and eventually burn out those activities to begin with. I mean, I don't know what else to say here. Bungie needs to flip themselves totally. They need to stop listening to those big guys. I see plenty of people in comment sections and Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all speaking about how not having the ability to craft seasonal things makes it harder. And this is a large player base of their fan base. I understand that some of you are like, you're totally wrong, you're an idiot, I don't know why you're talking, these guys were right, we didn't like that, but to be honest with you, you're the minority of these players as well. We need new players in this game to keep it alive. You can cock block and gatekeep as much of this game as you want, but it will die. You don't understand this. I understand wanting to keep certain things gatekeeped, but we can't, and we shouldn't, because it causes things to die. If you lock a dog in a cage and don't feed it, or you feed it one piece of kibble and only one person can feed it kibble, but only 2 people knows where it is or is interested in it, it's gonna die. Versus if you make the ease of access a lot easier, it's not in a cage, it's walking around, there's snacks on the ground, multiple people can feed the dog, keeping it alive. That's a very weird analogy, but it's a very simple thought process. This game's going to die, and it's going to be your fault. We have to make the ease of access better, and we have to start throwing exotics and stuff at people. Crafting was a pinnacle reason I still played this game. I said, unfortunately, this and that last DLC is probably going to be my last. I might not end up buying the new DLC because of the way Bungie's listening to these big heads and not listening to everyone else screaming at them. It's unfortunate, and I'm hoping that Bungie can flip. I still have a lot of hope for this game. I still like the game in general. It's one of my favorite games. I mean, hell, most of my shit I have in my room, my house, is Destiny themed. It's very, I have like 5,000 hours in this game. I have a lot of time into these games. Destiny 1 and 2. Great games. I love Bungie as a studio, but they keep messing up the important things they shouldn't. I don't know who is at the head of this, why it keeps happening, but you need to stop listening to some of these voices, because they are doing nothing but harming you in the long run. You need to make it easier for a normal player to come out and have the ability to play this game. You need to stop showing them 1,000,001 advertisements when they boot up the game. Give every single person that comes to play the game a 1 week, 100% free DLC run, and give them 1 week, 2 days, whatever you want. A certain amount of time into a DLC even. Let's say you have them play the first, second, third, and fourth mission. Whatever mission you feel will really drag on them to make them feel like they'll want to play this game. There needs to be ease of access, and that begins with crafting. Some of you older players who are like, no, this is stupid, keep this away, keep thinking like this. You're the reason this game's dying, and you're the reason why everywhere I've looked in the past 2-3 months, the game has been going down the skibbity toilet and not coming back out. The only way for it to is to bring crafting back, stop acting like it's hurting the game, because it wasn't to begin with. I know some of you will be mad about that. You're like, I grinded 500, I don't care. It doesn't matter, I don't care. No one cares. No one cares. I grinded 13 times to get Eyes of Tomorrow. I grinded 5 times to get the exotic from, what is it? Not Eyes of Tomorrow. Shit, I'm so bad with raid names right now. It's not Garden of Salvation. Crota. I tried, for 5 times on Crota, I immediately had the gun done immediately. And for King's Fall, I had the Touch of Malice done within 6-7 runs. I have really good RNG. To the point to where I usually get what I want very early on. I know other people who have played Deepstone Crypt 150 times in a row and still haven't gotten the Eyes of Tomorrow. I have really good Destiny RNG. That's just what it is. I'm lucky. I'm not like the rest of you. You're not like me. Okay? I don't know why they blessed me with this, but I'm very happy they did. But still, I could care less about the exotics and more about the crafting of everything else. Alright? The grind for the game has to be subtle. It has to be brought back just a notch. Bring crafting back. Make it less of a jump for these people to hop in this game, and I'm telling you, you will have a flourishing game. Give each of them a little timed ability to play every single one of these expansions whenever they want. Not in certain weeks, whenever they want. So they can have the ability to get grabbed. You can even be like, okay, we'll play part of this expansion. Alright, well, if you like that, here's part of this expansion. And have them jump from that mission and be like, okay, well, this is part of it. Put on the screen, this is part of this expansion now. These are all the expansions up until this last expansion. And you've played all of them. Are you interested in continuing? You can either buy them one at a time or all at once. And this is the price for it. The Final Shape has been out since June. It's time to put it on sale. Put it on sale. It's what you got to do. And then put it in a nice pack mixed with the Witch Queen and the Lightfall expansion. There you go. You have another $150, $100, whatever. Alright. These are simple problems that Bungie can fix. They just need to stop throwing their money at stupid shit. No one cares about Marathon. I don't care about Marathon. I'm probably not even going to play Marathon if I'm being honest. I don't care about their 9 other projects they had unless it was a Destiny 3. Maybe it's time for that. A Destiny 3 might help fix stuff. It'll also bring new player attention. Brand new commercial, Destiny 3, coming out soon. There we go. Those are my opinions on what can fix this game. Others are going to have other opinions, but I'm trying to think of, from players I've talked to who haven't played in a long time, what they would want and need to come back into this game. And what I've said is pretty much it. A better crafting system and crafting back. Maybe RNG not so horrible. Maybe give it the ability for many other things. Make the DLCs tryable first. Not when they first drop, I understand you don't want to do that. Because most players are going to buy it when the first drops anyway. But over time, stop listening to the big guys. Listen to the smaller crowd who wants to play the game but isn't, because it is a pain in the ass just to find someone on LFG alone. But not only that, but these people half the time don't even want to teach new players how to do a raid. Make the guided version of the raid easier. I've never seen anyone use the guided version of this raid. There has to be more give and take that Bungie isn't doing. And I understand that probably a lot of the older players are happy with the game kind of is right now. I'm not one of them. I think it's boring. I don't want to play it, and I'm not interested currently. A lot of new players probably are in the same aspect. It's boring. Nothing's guaranteed. It's a pain in the ass. Why do I have 500 hand cannons in my vault and none of them are good? And the old players are probably hip cheerioing around right now that are still playing and love it. You are putting too much hours in this game. If you're putting 12 plus hours into this game a day, there's a problem and you need to get a job. Unless this is your job. Well, then congratulations, but you need to understand that the little players also need to be able to have the ability to do things as well. And this isn't me saying, hey, you should make master raids easier. You should make, day ones easier. No, I'm not saying any of that shit. Don't care. Where the difficulty of the game is generally where I want it. I believe we should be a little bit more powerful, whatever, arrest me for that one. But it is what it is. I think the general, aspect of the game challenge is pretty solid. There's just other places that need a lot of improving, and they need to stop investing their money into stupid stuff that doesn't matter. That's it. Let me know if you guys like this video. Like and subscribe if you agree. If you disagree, like and subscribe anyway and say something in the comments. If you have something extra you'd want them to take away from what I said, being like, I don't agree with that, go ahead. These are just ideas. I'm not saying this needs to happen. But you have yourself a great day, night, and or evening, and hopefully this video of Destiny gameplay isn't super old, because it ain't new either. I really hope Destiny does something soon. I'm going to give Prison of Elders a try tonight, see if it's any good. I don't have high hopes. Peace.